And Marco's characters right here is just like, oh shit, I just
Yep.
got cut. I mean, this is what I love about these are the best action movies. You know, when the hero can be vulnerable at times. You
Yeah,
know, he's not just perfect
yeah.
throughout the whole movie and doesn't even get slapped.
I enjoy the Fast and Furious movies, but that whole thing about these guys having the clause in their contract where they can't lose a fight or really be hit, that's some bullshit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What is going on? It's your boy Preston, Phat Samurai Guy, and hanging out with me in the dojo, son. He has returned. All the legends
Yes,
come back. That's right.
they
All the
do.
legends come back to the dojo. Brandon Slagle, welcome back, brother.
Hi, how are you?
It's good to see you, man. Glad you're doing good, looking well, looking handsome and young. What's the secret?
Ooh,
What's the secret?
my secret is not being young because I am feeling my age lately. And it's also laser liposuction. That's my other secret.
Ah, I knew it. I
Yeah.
knew it. We'll
Yeah,
have to
well,
get on that.
when you get to be a certain age, the sit-ups and the crunches just don't do it anymore, and you got to cheat.
It's time to cheat, goddammit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my goodness. But we are here because we are talking Affinity, son. It is now out and available. Make sure you guys check it out. It's available everywhere, digitally and on Blu-ray from the almighty Well Go USA, son. That's right. I'm going to buy my copy. You know I'm getting it because, brother, it was an honor being at Big Bad Film Fest to
Hmm.
see this sci-fi martial arts action extravaganza on the big screen with a full crowd. And man, what an experience! I mean, how
I still
surreal was
have
it for you?
I have video of you of certain fights where I hear you cheering. So those are going to make their way online here soon. Amongst the 200 behind the scenes clips I've been saving since we filmed the movie. Now, I love
Awesome.
being able to see things with an audience, especially that one where it's an audience that is. I like that the premiere was at a festival because for one, it's attracting people that are into it for one, rather
Yeah.
than just like a lot of premieres that you have, especially in LA. It'll be people are invited, they come just to take a picture on the red carpet for their own ego, more or less, and
Right.
then they
Right.
don't really care about seeing you or the movie, or unless they want to get a job from you. This one was good because it was full of people that are actually fans of action and martial arts movies, and and a lot of them weren't necessarily even there because it was mine and Marco's premiere. They were there to see a movie. So I feel like we got a lot of really good on the spot, genuine reactions, and that's something that with movie theaters and the way things are distributed these days, you see less and less of now. So it's really special when it can happen.
Yeah. And I can't wait to see that clip of me yelling and screaming in the background.
Well,
I still,
unfortunately, it's the you see Marco, but you distinctly hear your voice.
oh, okay, cool. Yeah, as long as you hear me, it's gonna be
Although,
hilarious.
although I kind of
Yeah.
wish that I had like a GoPro set up in front of you, or like in front of people that were there.
Yeah, reaction video style in the movie theater. Me grabbing my buddy next to me. But yeah, I brought along my buddy. Shout out to director Billy Hansen. I had him with me, and he never seen. I mean, he's new to the martial arts genre. I'm bringing him in, and I've been
Yeah.
showing him a lot of classics. He's been watching a lot. Samuel Hunk's Eastern Condors and all kinds of
Yeah.
good stuff. So he's hooked, but
So
he's
you're
never
showing him
seen.
all the good stuff, because a lot of us who grew up with it, we had to find the good stuff.
Oh yeah,
Like I guess it was like the
it was
TBS
rough.
type channels were syndicated in the 80s. You would see the worst of the worst mystical kung fu movies. And we still like them, but then when
Right.
we got to really good stuff, then
Yeah.
that's life changing, and that's something.
Yeah. Facts. He's
Yes.
telling the truth. It was rough. It was really rough. Now everybody can watch anything anywhere.
Kids
But yeah,
these days
back in the
have
day,
no idea. They have no
no idea.
clue.
Yeah.
The first John Woo movies I have, had were tracked down in these basement video stores in the East Village in New York City before Hard Target was made. I had read about John Woo in Film Threat magazine. Um, and I'm like, I got to check this out because
Yeah.
a lot of all the adjectives that everyone knows to describe John Woo just had me hooked. And so I would go to these basement video stores and get these. I didn't realize these were bootlegs at the time, which
Yeah.
so I'd have like a weird moral conflict now buying these, but I would buy these Laserdisc copies on VHS in these black clamshell unmarked cases of like Hard Boiled, The Better Tomorrow 1 and 2, Once a Thief, Bullet in the Head.
Yeah.
And these movies, like these movies in these nondescript cases, like basically changed my life. But you had to really, really look for these.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is, even though it would take you months to find them, you love to hunt, and that's
Yeah.
something people don't know about now.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I used to be salivating when I would go into Suncoast. Yeah, I'm dating myself right there. Suncoast
Yeah,
in the mall. And they would have this
Suncoast had some good
foreign
stuff
section.
times. Yes.
Yeah, they would have a foreign section, and I didn't see a Better Tomorrow films yet, but they
Yeah.
had them there on DVD, and I was just like, oh, why do you have to be $50 each? God damn it.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
sucks.
I didn't realize how much I overpaid for what was essentially a copy off a Laserdisc. Although, like, I
Hey,
remember in Hard Boiled, right before the warehouse scene, which I guess is
yeah.
what half an hour into the movie, you see the prompt for the disc to be turned over.
Yeah, oh, that's
I like
OG.
vividly remember that. Yep.
Yeah, man. But still, good times. The Hunt. You're
Yeah.
right. The Hunt was fun, man. And once in a while, you'll get lucky at a Blockbuster Video or Hollywood
Yeah.
Video, and you would have a small little martial arts section. They'd have Dragons Forever there, Fist of Legend. You
Yeah,
know.
there were some like mom and pop stores, which I guess is another phrase most people don't know, but these were like independently owned video stores that weren't Blockbuster or Hollywood or
Yeah.
whatever. Although Hollywood Video could have some good stuff sometimes, but these
Yeah.
were things where people would get a catalog, and they would give me these catalogs when they were done with them. That was literally just all SKUs, box office grosses, and movie posters. And I had a ton of these I would get because I think my dad dated a girl that worked in one of them. I don't remember. Who
Yeah.
cares?
Yeah.
But that's how I found out about a lot of these just what at the time were really obscure Asian films, European horror films like Giallos and stuff like that. Just things that all the things that were either banned in certain countries or you just
Hmm.
couldn't find, or like we're talking about, you spent months looking for.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I remember in Hollywood Video they had a whole section of the Wu-Tang Clan tapes. And
Yeah,
old dirty kung fu. They would do their own little fun
yeah.
titles for a lot of it. But
Hollywood must have had buyers that had the same spirit as the mom and pop stores, because the mom and
yeah,
pop stores, it wasn't really a committee buying them like Blockbuster, because I don't know, a lot of people say I miss Blockbuster. I don't fucking miss Blockbuster. They all their movies were censored or they didn't have them. So I miss the concept of Blockbuster and the fact that they're
yeah,
not on every street corner. But if you wanted to find the really good stuff, you had to go to Hollywood or to the mom and pop stores. Or there's another chain called Hastings that would often have really obscure things too. And I feel like those were almost like Blockbuster was Sony Records, and all the
yeah,
mom and
yeah.
pop and Hastings and stuff was like Earache Records and Roadrunner Records and
Right.
and
Yeah.
and yeah, stuff like that, where they had like buyers that were independent and wouldn't buy things because everyone agreed, but because it looked cool.
Yeah, pretty much. And one of the
Yeah.
craziest movies I rented back in the day was Jet Li's Kung Fu Cult Master. And I was brand new to the wuxia. I didn't even know what wuxia was, that whole genre. And Jet Li's flying in the air, throwing fireballs, Street Fighter
Mm.
style,
Yeah.
and an army on the ground. And I was like, this is insanity, but I love it. I
Yeah.
mean, and just like how you said, it's rare to find these movies out in the wild, but it was fun. The Hunt was fun. The
Yeah.
very same thing goes for anime as well. Like
Yes.
anime was
Yes.
not easy to find either, man.
The first animes I really found, I think it was, got like 93 or 94, and I was close to graduating high school, and I would always heard about Akira and stuff like this. And
Yeah.
there was a video store in New York City at like 89th and Columbus or Amsterdam or something. God, I wish I still remember what the membership number was, but I don't remember the name of it. Obviously, it's not there anymore. But once again, I think they may have had a lot of bootlegs there because there were a lot of, black clamshell cases. But that was the
Hmm.
first time I rented Akira and I think Vampire Hunter D, and then a couple of years later, Ghost in the Shell came out, and I think from there on out, that really started popularizing or making anime more accessible. Ghost in the Shell was reviewed on Siskel and Ebert, and I don't remember any manga or anime, or as it was called Japanimation then, which isn't
Hmm.
kosher now. I don't
Yeah.
recall any other movie being reviewed by them on their show before that.
That was a big deal when that came
Yeah,
out. I remember that for sure. But
yeah.
yeah, it was for me, man. It was Fist of the North Star, Ninja Scroll, the Professional Go-Go
Oh
13.
yes.
Um,
My friends got me into Ninja Scroll. Fist of the North Star I knew about because I recorded the Entertainment Tonight segment when they were shooting the movie with Gary Daniels and Downtown Julie Brown.
no
Um,
way.
and I totally forgot it, but at the time, my friend's brother Costas was in the movie.
Oh
Um,
shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
which I didn't realize until many years later. It says, "Oh, Costas Mandylor was in Fist of the North Star," but
It was,
at the time,
yeah.
I guess they were trying to position Gary Daniels as like an A-lister, and then the movie, despite all the push that it got, it went straight to video,
Yeah.
which in the
I have
'90s was not a good thing for that kind of movie.
no, no, it's changed now, but
Yeah.
yeah, for the 90s. But I actually have the Hong Kong Legends foreign DVD release of
Hmm.
that movie where it's actually widescreen. Because
Ooh.
if you buy that movie anywhere else, it's not
Yeah.
widescreen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
with
many
special
things. Even
features and interviews. So
yeah.
I feel fortunate to have that version.
Even there's still a lot of movies that I'll buy on Vudu, or I guess it's called Fandango at home now, that
Yeah.
are still punched in or pan and scan. And obviously they're not 4:3, but like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, I know is in scope. It's in 235, but the
Right.
VOD version is in 16:9.
Oh,
And it
wow.
kind of takes what, well, the one on Vudu is. So I don't know if
Okay.
it's the same on any others. But that, to me, that
Interesting.
takes away a little bit of the quality, like the cinematic feel of it.
Right. You actually ran into Gary Daniels at a convention and I got my picture with him. Like this is way
Uh,
back. And he was a nice dude,
he
man.
is in insane shape still. And what is he, 70 now?
He's not human.
Yeah,
It's kind of fucked up actually. He's
yeah.
walking around
That's how
jacked.
Marco's going to be in 20 years. Like he's already
Marco.
inhuman, but he's going to be more inhuman then.
Yeah, yeah. Well, as still a big huge fan of Gary and he has some great work out there, but I know for a fact that Gary probably wished he had you as a director for Fist of the North Star and he had Marco there to help with the action direction. Well,
Yeah.
mostly shout out to Nicolo, the DP. Is it Nicolo or Nico? What's the best way to say his name?
We call him Nico, but his
Okay.
credited name is Nico de la Ferre. You have to say
Ah,
it in do Italian hands
oh,
when
De
you
La Fere.
speak. Yeah, de la Ferre.
There we go. Nico. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll keep it simple for me because I'm terrible with
yeah.
accents.
Nico
But
has become a pretty prolific action DP in the
yeah,
past few.
yeah.
His
I got
first
to get him on
feature,
the show.
I think was Battle for Saipan, which was mine, and then he
Love
just
that
started
movie.
doing one after another like that.
Yeah, love Battle for Saipan, man. If y'all ain't seen that movie, y'all need to check it out. It's badass. Casper Van
And as
Dien,
we said
Louis
last time,
Mandylor.
don't watch the trailer. Just
Do
watch the
not.
movie.
Yes, for the love of God. That pissed me off.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this trailer looks all right. And I watched the movie. I'm like, this movie has this kind of action and violence in it?
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do.
Yeah,
My
so watch
intent
it.
was, and I may have said this last time, my intent was to do like a Wolf Warrior type movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was
The
a
Raid. The
pre-sold
Raid.
movie, like, yeah, that was supposed to be like, oh, make a war movie. So
Yeah.
I get that maybe the intent wasn't always supposed to be that, and maybe it just showed that I disobey orders. But to me, it was a great time, a great opportunity to make a martial arts movie that was a period piece.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Love that movie. So make sure you guys check it out, as well as Arena Wars and all kinds of other fun movies my
Yeah.
brother has made over the years. But yeah, back to Fist of North Star, the action behind the scenes, especially on that DVD, they showed the behind the scenes and the action looked great. But the
Yeah.
director, I forgot his name right now. He did Hellraiser 2. He martial arts and
Oh,
action is
oh, I didn't
he's
realize he was that was like Tony something. He was
Randall?
I
Is it
think
Randall?
Tony Randall. He was the
Okay.
AD on Hellraiser 1, and that's why he and I think Hellraiser, I actually like Hellraiser 2 better.
I actually me
But it
too.
does
Yeah.
still feel it does feel like a pair with Hellraiser 1. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that was him that directed it.
Yeah, I mean, he created great post-apocalyptic atmosphere
Yeah, yeah.
with the movie, but he had no patience for how long it took to put a great fight scene together. And that's
Yeah.
why if you watch that end finale fight, he just gave up. And he just shot it just like this. And you could tell all the cuts and edits, like it's a mess. I mean, it's a guilty pleasure. I still enjoy it, but
Yeah.
you could tell. I mean, even the interview on the DVD, Gary Daniels was like, "Yeah, what they had planned was not what you saw in the movie, unfortunately."
Yeah,
So,
it takes,
but
and a lot of people don't realize this, or they want to hire their buddy or the person they have the best meeting with. But you need people that can do both, that can do the drama and
yeah,
can do the action and have the patience to do both.
yeah,
And you see a lot of movies, kind of like chop shop type movies that will have like someone who was famous in the 90s come out that they shot for 10 days. They already made their money on it and they just don't care. They don't care about the
no,
final product. And you often will not have people that know how to shoot the action properly or even sell like a single punch in camera. Even if you have good performers, everyone
yeah.
on both sides of the camera has to have an understanding and know what to show.
Now, I'm so glad you said what you just said because you've unlocked a memory that I tried to
Huh.
forget. When I saw the trailer for Jason Bourne, and you have that scene where you have the jacked, Matt Damon walking up to the dude, just straight up shirtless,
Yeah,
walking up to that dude, and he just bow, just knocks him out. That
yeah.
exact same scene, when you see it in the movie, is filmed from behind. You can't see the punch. I was done. I
Yeah.
was so pissed. I was like, I'm done. I'm done with this bullshit. But thankfully, the action is filmed beautifully with Affinity,
Like,
the editing, the sound design, the music
so
score, brother. Everything just worked
yeah,
perfectly.
this is why it's so good that there's guys like the Chad Stahelskis and so on that really understand both sides of it. These are
Yes.
guys that are not just fight coordinators or stuntmen, but they want to be proper directors too, who happen to have an acute understanding of how to do
Yeah.
action and when to do action and what leads to action, rather than just, oh, here's a fight, or we need a fight every 10 minutes so we can sell it to this territory. You don't feel it if you don't feel the characters or some kind of suspense or anticipation or anxiety about the situation.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. I mean, I like all kinds of genres of action and even mindless action, as long as the action's good.
Yeah,
I'll find some entertainment, but when you nail everything like Affinity
yeah,
does, that seems to be rare nowadays. Like usually they just kind of just pump out, hey, just make sure the action's cool, we're good, like you just
yeah,
said, and I'll still watch it and have fun. But
yeah.
dude, I want to buy the soundtrack of this movie. Is
Oh, the
it
soundtrack.
possible? Can we get the score? Is that possible?
I don't know, because I know that some of my stuff, like I think the Arena Wars scores on Spotify, and maybe the Saipan score, which is largely like live
Okay.
koto drums and live instruments. And this
Yeah.
Affinity is a good mix of synths and live orchestra. Um, So I wonder. I know some of the composer's other stuff is on there, so I'll see. I'll put in a word with some people, and
I
see
have
if we can
people
get it
asking me,
there.
bro.
Really? Oh, well,
Like,
and even better.
yeah.
Because if it's just me asking, they're like, "Oh, you just want to hear your movie." But if it's other people that want to hear it, then that's
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
Yeah,
well,
tell them I want to buy the goddamn soundtrack, all
you
right?
in particular, specifically you," and then
Yes,
they'll be like, "Oh God, I we need to get it up there."
that's right. But going back to my buddy Billy, who was that was one of the things he really was impressed by was the soundtrack
Hmm.
after we watched the movie, and he wanted to buy the soundtrack too. But
Well,
he
so now we
again,
have two.
there you go.
Yeah.
He's been watching a lot of the classics. I'm catching him up, and but he's new to Marco. That's why I was like,
Mm.
you gotta see Marco Zaror in action, dude. I'll never forget watching Kiltro for the first time in that alleyway fight. I was like, what is this? This is
Hmm.
absolutely insanity. The guy's got blades on his boots and he's
Yeah.
doing spinning roundhouse kicks, fucking dudes
Oh,
up. Like, who is this guy? And then, of
his
course,
character in
Undisputed 3. That was it.
his character in Kiltro is his WhatsApp avatar, by the way. Yeah, Marco is interesting because, and this is something I've started telling people who ask me about him, or may have seen him in John Wick or what have you. He's like if you took Dolph Lundgren but made him move like Jet Li or Bruce Lee or a smaller person. And it's really kind of remarkable to see.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see in person. Like, obviously I had seen what he could do before, but to see the how, like, for one, how in shape he is. He's in ridiculous shape, and he's only a little bit younger than me. um so he maintains himself well, and he has the same kind of grace as like a Van Damme. And so he's really like the best parts of a lot of different guys. You have a big guy who can move with such, like, almost like poetically, but also beat the shit out of
Yeah. Yeah. And there's really he has his own look,
you.
his
Yeah,
own type of style, his own type of charisma.
yeah.
That's why we're so happy. He's in movies like this and getting opportunities to be in John Wick, and his upcoming boxer movie looks phenomenal as well.
Oh yes, I was so
So
glad to
yeah,
see him
he's
do
on
that,
fire.
because people will look at something like that movie and say that it's prestige, even though we know that the best stuff is like the John Wicks, and that's why, to me, that's why movies go to the theater. But hopefully a movie like this biopic really gets new eyes on him that may not have been there before.
Sure. Oh yeah, of course. Kind of similar to, well, probably more entertaining. I haven't seen it yet, but maybe like The Rock's Dwayne
Yeah,
Johnson's The Smashing
well, the
Machine. Have you
Smashing
seen that
Machine.
yet?
Yeah. No, is it out yet? I have seen the trailers, and I haven't quite been into the Safdie brothers style. The whole, like, talking over each other thing. Which, considering how much of my life I've spent in New York, you think I'd be all about that. But I'm getting kind of old, and I don't want 10 people talking around me. But that style works for them and their stories. I will give them that, even if it's not my preference. But the trailer looks like it may be a departure from that style. So we'll see. I'm definitely interested in seeing it. Even though he kind of plays like another extension of himself in it, I always actually really liked him in Pain and Gain, because he's like, obviously, no matter what you think of him or what his perception the public has of him now, he's obviously a smart, sharp guy. But he played a kind of a lovable, vulnerable doofus in Pain and Gain so well. Um, yeah, God, that movie's already 12 years old. I don't know what happened
Yeah.
to life and existence.
But yeah, man. Any challenges with Affinity? Because this is. Do you consider Affinity your best film as of right now?
I like Affinity and Breakout a lot for different reasons. Obviously, Affinity, it's the level of action that we have, and the performers. With Breakout, it's kind of the sensitive part of the story that I like. Luckily, Affinity has some of that too. Um, As far as challenges, I mean, every movie has challenges, and there's always fires to be put out behind the scenes that hopefully nobody hears about except for, the director and the producer and another producer. But the actual onset experience of shooting Affinity was just a great time. Like, even when we were doing overnights and I was like half dead trying to stay awake and then go and take care of my kid all day after her and send her nanny home, it was just a great time. There was a time I had like food poisoning. It was still a great time. And just great stuff happened every day. And you felt like you were doing something new and fun every day. So it was really an ideal shooting experience.
Nice. Copy that. Copy that. And not just the legend himself, Marco, obviously starring in it. Not just him, but you have other beasts in this movie. You got Louis Mandylor back, Brooke's a beast, and
Yeah.
Brahim, man. Holy shit.
A lot of people, I don't think, realize Brahim's resume, but he choreographed Monkey Man, Fight or Flight that Marco was in. He was the fourth villain in Undisputed 4. Obviously, I have Lewis in as many things as I can put him in, and he's always a great like secret weapon that I have because I can tell him little things to do in scenes that other actors respond to really really well. And also, if you can have one of your close friends in a movie, why not? And then Brooke, who I had not known before, and I'm not really familiar with the bodybuilding world or CrossFit, but she was like women's CrossFit champion of all time or something like that. And she's just a cool person, cool to hang out with, and really jumped in and accepted the challenge like a pro. A lot of the moves that she does, we really just like the Tony Jaa team, who was the action team for the movie. We would show her moves, and even like the scissor takedown and everything, she would do it instantly. Like like she's always been doing it. I mean, maybe at these bodybuilding conventions she has to take down a few creeper fans or something. I don't know, but she was just badass.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I want to see more. I want to see her do more action movies for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I
Uh
know her team is trying to do that. So hopefully she gets like a series or something. That would be cool to see her in.
oh yeah, for sure. Well, speaking of action, let's bring up three fight scenes, excellent, awesome, amazing, electrifying fight scenes, and let's go ahead and watch them, have some fun with it, and obviously with reaction video style, just for fun here. And by all means, give us some awesome behind the scenes stories while we watch it. Let's do it.
All right, let's go. All right, so this is our alley fight, and we
This fight right
spent
here, man, was phenomenal.
yeah, we spent the entire shooting day doing this fight. Um, and the good thing is, I think Marco probably could have shot for 2 more days on this scene and and not sleep at all. These guys are all from Tony Jaa's team. I know there's a Scene is the guy with the bleached hair, the tips that just shot him. The other two gentlemen, their names are on the tip of my tongue. A lot of Thai names are abbreviated nicknames. Um, but yeah, this is something that a couple of weeks was spent on in the Tony Jaa studio, and really kind of what you see happening here is exactly what we choreographed and exactly what was shot. The the one this long take here that's about 20 seconds unbroken with Nico
So
kind of
good.
halfway spinning around Marco. I think we did something like 9 takes of this, and the one that finally nailed it, the choreographer Pap and I were watching at the monitor, and like we high-fived and cheered and hugged each other. It's
Wow.
just one of those things, like when you nail it, it's such a good feeling.
Oh yeah. This was just phenomenal, man. I mean, you
Yeah.
had that amazing opening action sequence from the beginning of the movie in the first person perspective, which was
Yeah.
amazing. But this one, in terms of the martial arts combat, this fight really set the tone for what's getting the audience ready for what they're about to
Yes.
see for the rest of the movie.
And the Bruno character can really do. Like,
So good.
obviously he's depressed and he's very kind of introverted, but you see that he's a monster as well. When we were wrapped with this day, Marco and I were in the van going back to the hotel, and Scott was on the phone, Scott Adkins, and Marco's like, "Hey man, this was the best fight I've ever shot. I just shot the best fight of my life." And I'm, next to him in the seat going, "Oh, really? I've seen your movies. That is a hell of a compliment. So,
Let's check out the next one, man.
all right. So the guy that you just saw plays the character Zeke. Yeah,
So good.
TJ is a bare knuckle fighter all
Oh,
throughout East and the Middle East. And this was actually a working restaurant. Obviously, a lot of the China balls and things you see, we put in, but it was owned by,
this guy.
I think,
He looks.
in England. Yes, yes, he is someone you do not want to mess with. He is a badass in real life, and you can see that he's badass. Just his presence is great. Um, this restaurant is a working restaurant. All the lights and fixtures we put in and things that we break, we put in. But it's owned by a British man who I think married a woman in Thailand and retired and opened the restaurant there. And he was very accommodating to us. And it was really right on the water, so you could see the entire city around us. There's TJ. You see Brahim with a little improvised smelling of the plant. um, Brahim does a lot of interesting, like, little nuances that I love. So this fight coming up, it's kind of a preview of the fight that we have at the end of the movie. You'll notice the staging is very much like a one-on-one fighting game. It's like King of Fighters or Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, etc. There's even a shot that shows the two of them side by side about to face off, where you can almost hear like round one. And this was probably also at like 5 a.m. too, by the way. So good on these guys for being able to have the endurance to do this stuff for as long as they do.
Fight.
Yes. I remember that potted plant took a few takes to get right, but you
Man,
never know.
so good. The way these
This
guys
whole
move, man,
fight
it's
between the
insane.
two of them, except for the cutaways, is really just, I think, 2 or 3 unbroken takes.
And Marco's
And
characters right here is just like, oh shit, I just
yep.
got cut. I mean, this is what I love about these are the best action movies. When the hero can be vulnerable at times.
Yeah,
He's
that's
not just perfect
yeah.
throughout the whole movie and doesn't even get slapped.
I enjoy the Fast and Furious movies, but that whole thing about these guys having the clause in their contract where they can't lose a fight or really be hit, that's some bullshit. If you want to connect to the character, you need to show these moments where they get hurt. There's Jane Miro. She's a very prolific model in Asia. This shot of her looking in camera, like the the looks that she would give you are haunting.
But yeah, I enjoyed all of the action a lot throughout the whole movie. But when we got to the ninja fight, I was just like, oh, this is just scratching the itch, man.
Yeah.
Because I hunger for stuff like this. This is just giving the audience, this is rewarding the audience. I always say this: the best martial arts movies out there reward the audience, and the fights get better and better and better.
Yeah.
And of course, we get to the amazing one-on-one and finale fight with Brahim. But right here, I was in the theater, like I was so happy right now, man.
Yeah, they weren't written as ninjas in the script. They were just like your normal like henchmen in black suits, and I think
Look
it
at
was
this,
something that one of the costume designers showed us.
so good.
That Marco and I looked at each other and were like, "Oh shit, they should be ninjas," because not for any reason, but because they're ninjas. That's why they're there. Why
Yeah,
else? Ninjas don't need a reason to be there. That, and I always try to put ninjas in, and I forget. Like in Arena Wars, there's one guy who should have been a ninja. Right, this shot is basically supposed to be like a beat 'em up side scroller. The tracking shot where the next wave shows up. It's very Streets of Rage. Actually, the guy with the tonfas is the guy at the end of Battle for Saipan. His name is
man,
like
look at
Dark
this.
Monkey or
Oh,
something.
went for the leg.
Yep.
He's got the spinning tonfa. Let's go. He's got two of them.
Yeah, you so rarely see tonfas in anything, in any media, outside of like Yi Ar Kung Fu in the 80s.
Yeah. Woo. Let's fucking go, man. Yeah, man. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff, man. Love it. Love it. I want Affinity 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Well, you may have noticed that in the Q&A somebody asked about a sequel, and so maybe there's Marco fighting like 35 Athenas or 35 Brahims. Maybe not Athenas. I don't know.
Well, going back to the anime discussion earlier, you did mention that was one of the things that stood out with your live Q&A, Big Bad Film Fest, was that before we started the movie, you said something like, enjoy this live action 90s anime. And that really stuck with me. I was like, wait a minute, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So was there any inspirations, any 90s anime
Yeah.
inspirations on Affinity?
I mean, with me, there's always a bit of a Kira Vampire and Vampire Hunter D, just because those were my entryways into uh, anime and manga. And even like Vampire Hunter D, which also is like focused on a very like small core group of characters. You could almost compare to the dynamic in Affinity. I don't want him to come after me for saying this, but Marco is a bit of an anime nerd. And between days of shooting would send me recommend like Attack on Titan and would send me soundtracks from these and things. So with both of us being the primary creative forces behind these, that influence was constantly there. And in my mind's eye, I could see shots from Affinity totally working in a like 80s 90s anime style, transcribed or rotoscoped over, or, however you would do it.
Oh yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, man, just overall, the acting, the characters, memorable villains, amazing soundtrack, the way the action was filmed, the way the movie was directed, everything, the editing, everything about it's phenomenal. And you don't really see a lot of martial arts based sci-fi movies. You don't see a lot of that. And Affinity
Yeah.
is very unique in that way, man. So yeah, congratulations on the success of the film. It is out there right now, everybody. That's right. Check it out digitally. I would just say just buy it on Blu-ray. You want to own this, especially if you're a big Marco Zaror fan. But hey, I could talk to this brother all day about martial arts movies and anime. We can chat all day. He's my brother from another mother. But before we wrap it up, Brandon, is there anything you'd like to say to your followers?
Thank you very much for being along this long, winding, sometimes dead ends. Got to figure out a way through the barricade road. Um, there's things coming up, trying to pair Marco with another big martial arts guy that you've not seen him with. These things take time. So hopefully Affinity is the beginning or part of another chapter. And thank you again.
All right,
Yeah.
guys, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Old Samurai Guy. Follow the Movie Dojo podcast right here on YouTube and on Spotify. Click on the links below so you can follow Brandon on Instagram and continue to follow him on his badass filmmaking journey. And we'll see you martial arts action movie sci-fi loving badasses on the next one. Take care. Affinity, baby. Let's go.